Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a Christmas layout. I'm super excited for this. I'm using these really cool big stamp and die sets from Brutus Monroe. This one is called Falala. It doesn't exactly go to 12 by 12, but I am going to definitely make a border out of this using the die set as well. And then I also think I'm going to be using at least one of these pre-printed watercolor cards. Sorry, my Marylander came out of me. Watercolor cards. And then I'm going to be playing with some aqua pigment, so I need to pull them too. Let's see what I can do. Alright guys, so this stamp set is a pretty big stamp set. Like this single stamp is about 10 and a half inches long. So if you have a stamp positioner tool, I would totally recommend using it for this stamp set. Now the beautiful thing about that is when you miss some ink on your stamp, like I did on the bow of that present, it is super easy to throw some more ink on the stamp and tap it down and have it completely lined up, and you don't have to worry about trying to figure out how in the world you are going to line that stamp up. Now, as you can see, I have quite a collection of aqua pigments. It is over here to my left, and I am going to paint in all of these presents. So I do have a small paintbrush that I like to use. It could not even tell you what it is. Let's see, what does it say? Royal, and it's kind of worn off, but it's a number 2 round. And I really like using this size paintbrush when I'm painting in stamped images. I feel like it holds a good amount of the media, in this case the aqua pigments, and it has enough of a point that I can get into the tiny little places. Now I am a straight up basics painter here, guys. I am literally dipping my brush into the aqua pigment itself and painting onto the layout. I'm not doing any kind of shading. I'm not doing any kind of, you know, artsy finishes or textures or anything like that. This is just straight color painting, and I think it turns out great. I use a variety of colors, and I think it just turns out great and colorful. Now, I'm not going to make you watch me color in all of these presents because it does take me a long time. I do go get my little bucket of water as well so I can clean my brush in between each aqua pigment that I use. And I also keep the aqua pigments that I've used out, so I don't put them back in the bin. And that is just in case I miss something while I'm coloring. And I do, or painting rather. And I do miss little bits in here that I should have painted in with the certain colors. And since I had them out, it was a lot easier to go back and grab that color and dip my brush into it real quick and touch up the little bits that I missed than it would have been to go through that entire bin going, was this the purple I used or was this the purple I used? Like that's not a fun time, you guys. That is definitely not a fun time. Now I'm just making sure that I'm getting the colors that I'm introducing kind of all over the layout or all over the stamped image. I don't want like all my greens in one little area and no green throughout the rest of the image. That doesn't work for me. I wanted it to be colorful all the way through. And the reason why it does take me so long to color is, as you can see, like I'm coloring in the individual little dots, and then I'm going to paint in around that as well. And I know I keep seeing coloring, but I'm really painting. I promise that is a paintbrush in my hand. So now that this is all colored, I grabbed the little snowman guy and I painted him in as well. There's my little water bucket right there. Now I am using the aqua pigment in Pearl over top of the snowman and all of his snowy bits. So you're sorry, that just struck me as funny. Now you're not really going to be able to see the pearl on camera, But in person on the layout, you can definitely tell that the snowman has a little bit of this sheen to him that other parts of the layout do not have. I was hoping that it would be able to show up on camera, but it really doesn't, and that is such a bummer. The one thing I don't like about YouTube videos is that sometimes you don't see the true color, you don't see all of the details, but you get a general idea, and you know what a shimmer looks like, so you can kind of see in your mind's eye what the snowman looks like. So now I'm going to use the coordinating dies that go to the Falala stamp set. Now you can buy the stamp and dies separately, so if you only want the stamps, you can do that if you're not a die cutter person, or you can buy them as a set. I really appreciate the fact when stamp sets have dies that coordinate with them, because it makes my life so much easier. So I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of tape to hold down the dies, and then I'm going to go run them through my die cut machine. So everything is run through now. So I also fussy cut out our snowman friend over here. And I'm using a black cardstock as my base. I'm also going to have a secondary background layer, and that is going to be this white cardstock. And this is trimmed down, I believe, to about a 10 by 10. It's just going to be slightly smaller than the span of the presents that I had stamped out. Now my snowman guy right here, he's going to hang out with the presents, kind of looking at the Christmas tree, and you know, he's got these big bright blue eyes going on in there, so he's kind of like, yeah, Christmas. At least that's what I imagine the snowman guy is saying. You might imagine him saying something completely different, or you might be man, Sandy. Man, you are a maniac, and that's okay, a little bit. So I am popping up the presents here on some fun foam, and what that is going to allow me to do is tuck things underneath of the presents so that the presents are up in the foreground and they're kind of like, hello, here we are. Now this is the Sweater Weather paper collection, and I decided to use this one because it does have more of a traditional Christmas color scheme to it, even though I have a lot of funky colored presents down here at my stamped image. And the reason why I went with that is because you would have to like really look at and study the photo. But every year I do a theme of wrapping paper, and this year I ran out, and when I went back to the store they didn't have any more of the wrapping paper that I had purchased previously, so I had to get another roll of wrapping paper that really didn't coordinate, and it was bright and bold and colorful. So that's why I'm introducing the traditional with these bright and bold colorful presents. So a lot more backstory, and most people wouldn't even notice nor care, but that's what happened in my head while I was putting this layout together. So now I am going to use the Falala stamp set here, and I am having some of the Falala's dark and some of them light, and I'm just doing that by stamping off and then stamping back on the page. Now I do confess that when I saw that Falala stamp set, I wanted to get rid of that first FA and just have and do a Smurfs stamp set. And I wish I hadn't already scrapbooked the photos of my kids when they were Smurfs one year for Halloween, but I already have, and this would have been perfect for it. So you know, think about your stamp sets and stuff. Like, you're thinking this is a Christmas stamp set only, but you know, you could make those presents into birthday presents. You could do the like with the Smurfs, and then the bows can be all kinds of things. Now I'm just going to use these bows as little bits of decoration on my layout. So on these little bows, I'm not sure how well you can see it on camera, but the inside folds of the bows, I painted a different color than the color of the main portion of the bow. Not exactly sure if you can see it. Maybe you can see it on that red one there a little bit, but that is what I did. I did try to give the bows a little bit of depth, but like I said, by no means am I a professional painter or know the rules of painting and shading and all that kind of stuff. I just do what I like, and that means I usually enjoy my page. So I am going to create a little cluster with both bows right here. And then I decide the bows can't just be plopped on the page like this. Like, they just look like somebody just said, bow, here, down, boom. And I don't want that, right? I want it to look like it was meant to be there. So I'm grabbing the offcuts of the sweater weather paper that I used, and I'm going to make some fishtail banners. So I find the center of the banner, draw a line, and then I go ahead and cut from the corner to the tip of that line, and then that gives me my fishtail banner. So I have two of them. Now I was originally going to put both of them right here, but they are so close in color, they're so close in pattern, I just decided, nope, that's not going to work for me. So I put one under the green bow, one under the red and the blue bow, and then I'm going to cut a little bit more out of that paper offcut right there. I'm going to cut the green out and place that on the page. So I just wanted to try it out to make sure it was the right size, it would fit, all that kind of good stuff. It is. So I go ahead and cut the banner out of the bottom portion of that one, and then I'm going to overlap it so that I have the two little hanging banners underneath of each bow set. And, you know, it turns out I like it that way. So now that that is done, I think, okay, my layout needs to have something else. So I trimmed off the scarf of the snowman that was hanging out from behind the presents. You kind of could tell it was the scarf, but then it was, it felt a little bit funky. So I went ahead and cut that off. Now I am using my absolute favorite gold sparkly sequins from Brutus Monroe, and I'm just going to drop a couple of these down on the page so that there is some excitement. There's a little bit of sparkle. Everybody needs a little bit of sparkle in their lives, especially for Christmas photos. So I go ahead and get those down on the page as well. And then, you know, I was thinking I could have just used this upper Falala, la 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 la, as my title, but I felt like I needed another Falala. And I wanted it to be kind of in your face. I wanted these falalas to kind of fade a little bit into the background, and I wanted my title falala to be like, bam, here is the title, you know it is all about the falala. So I do grab some letter stickers from my stash, and I go ahead and place those down. Now I decided that I needed to have more on top the photo. I didn't want it hanging off the photo, which is what I originally thought I would like, but I did not. So I just moved it over a little bit. And then there you go, guys. That is going to do it for this layout. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for joining me. Be sure to check out the links down below. There are links down there so you can check out the products that I used in this video. And I will see you guys again real soon for another video.